this is Sasank again from Biosimplified. Welcome to the second part of our one short video on understanding immunology. In the previous part, we built a strong foundation by understanding the innate immune system, the body's rapid, non-specific first line of defense, along with the complement system and the basic mechanisms of inflammation. In this video, we are going to move one level deeper and explore the adaptive or specific immune system, the art of immunity that provides precision, memory, and long term protection. This session is designed to give you a structured and conceptually clear understanding of how B and T cells function, how antigen presentation works, how immune activation is coordinated, and how the body generates immunological memory. The goal is not just to memorize pathways but to understand the logic behind the immune response. Now, let's move into one of the most powerful components of human immunity, the specific or adaptive immune system. Unlike the unlike the innate immune system, which responds immediately but in a generalized way, the adaptive immune system is highly specific. It is designed into it is designed to recognize particular pathogens and generate a targeted response against them. This system primarily involves two major types of immune cells, the T cells and B cells, which belong to the category of lymphocytes. Although these cells flow free through the lymphatic system and blood, they spend most of their time stationed in organized immune tissues such as the lymph node and the mucosa associated lymphoid tissues or MALT. You can think of these tissues as immune headquarters where cells wait for further instructions. Each evading pathogen carries unique molecular structures on its surface. These structures are called antigens. Now, here's what makes adaptive immunity remarkable. Every T cell carries a unique T cell receptor or TCR designed to recognize one specific antigen. Similarly, every B cell has a unique membrane bound antibody which is also specific to a single antigen. In fact, there are millions of distinct B and T cells, each pre-programmed to recognize only one particular antigen. This enormous diversity allows the immune system to respond to virtually any pathogen the body may encounter. When a new pathogen arrives and causes an infection in the body, the T and B cells that are specific to that pathogen need to be alerted. The trouble is they are present in certain lymphatic tissues, such as lymph nodes, while the infection is happening somewhere else, which is completely different from their location. This is where the dendritic cell comes in for help. Dendritic cells act as profens- professional antigen presenting cells and serve as messengers between the innate and adaptive immune systems. Here's what they do. First of all, they capture antigens at the site of infection. Next, they process those antigens and display fragments of them on their cell surface. Then, they travel through the lymphatic system to nearby lymph nodes. Once they are there, they present the antigen to T and B cells. Only those lymphocytes whose receptors perfectly match the presented antigen become activated, while all the others remain inactive. Therefore, the specific immune response starts with dendritic cells presenting antigen fragments on MSC class II molecules to CD4 cells, a type of T cells. When a CD4 T cell recognizes its specific antigen, it becomes activated. It then undergoes clonal expansion, meaning it rapidly proliferates to produce many identical copies of itself. These activated CD4 cells differentiate into T helper cells. T helper cells are central coordinators of the adaptive immune response. They present antigens on MSC class 1 molecule that can be recognized by CD8 cells, another type of T cells. They also secrete cytokines that are responsible for making the CD8 cells proliferate and differentiate into cytotoxic T cells. They also release cytokines that stimulates B cells to proliferate and differentiate into plasma cells, which can release large quantities of antibodies, and memory B cells that roam around as in the body part of the immune memory to respond faster on future meetup with that specific pathogen. The T helper cells also travel to areas of infection and secrete cytokines that help to recruit monocytes and macrophages to the infected tissue and activate the macrophages to continue inflammation and start the process of phagocytosis. Now, let's focus on B cells. When activated, usually with assistance from T helper cells, B cells differentiate into plasma cells. Plasma cells are B cells that have differentiated and become antibody producing cells, and their job is to produce large quantity of antibodies that are specific to the invading pathogen into the bloodstream. Antibodies are Y-shaped proteins specific to antigen and is composed of a variable region which binds specifically to an antigen and a constant region which is recognized and interacts with different cells of the immune system. These proteins float around the blood and attach themselves to antigens that match their specific variable region. The antibodies help the immune system fight pathogens in a number of different ways. First is neutralization. They bind to foreign toxins or viral particles and block their harmful activity. Second is prevention of viral entry. By binding to the receptors of viruses or bacteria, antibodies can prevent them from carrying out their function of attaching to and entering the host cells. Third is agglutination, in which the antibodies can bind multiple pathogens simultaneously, causing them to clump together. This slows or limits their spread and makes them easier to eliminate. Finally is opsonization. Antibodies can act as opsonists where they coat pathogens, making them more recognizable to phagocytic cells such as macrophages and neutrophils, thereby enhancing phagocytosis. So, one of the most important features of the adaptive immune system is memory. After an infection is cleared, the memory T cells remain in the bloodstream. Also, the memory B cells remain in the bloodstream. If the same pathogen invades again, these memory cells respond much faster and more effectively. This is the principle of vaccination. To bring everything together, the innate immune system provides rapid, non-specific defense. The complement system enhances and amplifies immune reactions. The adaptive immune system provides highly specific, long-lasting protection through T cells, B cells, antibodies, and immune memory. These systems together coordinate seamlessly to detect, contain, eliminate, and remember invading pathogens. If you found this explanation helpful, explore the rest of the immunology videos for deeper understanding and